But my God, I haven't done Diablo 3 since April because I've been writing so much. And as I tell you, I used to spend a lot of time with Diablo 3. You know what I'm going to do, though? It's trouble, but I'm going to get Age of Empires 3. I used to play Age of Empires 1 and 2 a lot. And I love real-time strategy. And Age of Empires will actually teach you a lot about history. Have you noticed that? What you have to do to get out of the Iron Age and the Bronze Age and all those stuff. There's some lessons to be learned in Age of Empires. Also, Sid Meier's Civilization. I don't think I'm going to buy Civ 4, but it looks good. Oh my God, it looks good. But that'll teach you a lot about history, you know? I thought I was going to like Homeworld 3, but I saw the previews and it just didn't look as good as Homeworld 2 or 1, you know? And your brother, Alex, he was going to get into Homeworld 3, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was looking at Homeworld pretty good. It's a style of game that he and I have both attached to when we were very young, and we both occasionally go back to that genre. I don't know if he got into the new one or not.
Boy, I love the scale. When these massive ships come out and they're dwarfed by the size of some wreckage, I love that. I just love the scale of home. What other game am I looking forward to? Age of Empires 3 is old, but I still like it anyway. You know what I mean? I'm going to play it. Play my favorite civilizations like feudal Japan, which I never get enough of feudal Japan. You know that. I think I'm going to get involved in Dawn of War 3. Once again, it's not brand new, but I played Dawn of War 1 and 2, and I love the Warhammer 40K universe.
As long as you don't get too much into the things that you've said were frustrating changes that they've been making to their lore.
You know what? You know as well as I do that one of the things I was doing, because I love Warhammer so much, I was writing a Warhammer spec script that I was going to try to get to Henry Cavill, okay? Based off a great character, you know. I'm going to criticize Henry Cavill a little bit right now, but as a gamer, for fun. I think when he's doing his television series, I think he wants to be like the Captain General or Robert, how you pronounce it, Guilliman?
It's something like that. Yeah, he wants to...
Primarch of the Omega. Yeah, I can't stand that. I hope he doesn't do it because that is a very, at least I frown upon it. There are two types of gamers that get on my nerves. One of them is the rules lawyer. He's got the rule book right there and he's going, well, you can't do that because of line of sight. And then you got to roll a 3, and then, you know, that kind of stuff. Rules lawyers are very irritating, okay? The other one is power gamers. Power gamers are the guys who have to have the best, and all, you know, the best warriors, the best weapons, the best this and the best that. And it's just annoying, you know what I mean? There's nothing more I like than tearing apart a power gamer with a faction that's not supposed to be tough enough to beat them. You know what I mean? The thing that got me really excited about writing for Star Trek, I used to play Star Trek tabletop games. Now, these games have miniature Enterprises and Klingon ships, you know, and the rule book was like this thick. You know, it's a college level game. But that's the closest you ever come to flying a real starship in Star Trek. And when I first started playing the game, I was the only guy who I knew played it. Later on, it became wildly popular. But when it first came out, I was one of the first guys on it because it was Star Trek. I had to train all the people I ended up fighting against. For 6 or 7, 8 months, I had to train people on how to, because they didn't know it. It's a complex game. And since I had to train them, everybody wanted to be Captain Kirk. So they got the Enterprise, okay? Which means I had to be the Klingons every single time. Then I noticed I started to get damn good at being Klingon. And the Federation has the best starships with the best weapons and the best shield and everything. The Klingons were kind of like the Russians. They were supposed to be quantity instead of quality, right? But I got to learn how to really use my Klingon ship. I would throw everything at them. I would take the sinks out of the men's room and throw it at them. I got to be really good. And then when, as a Klingon, who's got a weaker ship and is not supposed to win, right? The game was called Starfleet Battles. It was really good to wipe out the enemy ship or to smash it up so bad he has to withdraw. But the best thing to do, the way to add insult to injury, is to capture his ship, take it from him, and then haul it back to your homeworld to study. That's the best you could possibly do, right? And for me to come out with my Klingon D7 battlecruiser and basically bitch slap him across the table, take his Enterprise from him and haul it back to the Klingon homeworld, you should see how demoralized guys would get. here I am with my little Cleon, and I just knew my ship so well, I would just knock them all over the board and then take their ship from them. Those were some good times. Oh my God, those were some good times. A lot of the war game stores I went to back then don't even exist anymore. If any of you out there are gamers and you remember a store in Burbank called The Last Grenadier, put Last Grenadier in the comments. So, no, that was the most fantastic store and was right next to Mother Fuddruckers Hamburgers. You know, even the building was in is knocked down now. Well, I'm giving commercials for all, because I'm going to mention a store in Burbank now that is awesome. It's called Geeks and Tees. Great game store. Really cool. It's the successor to Last Grenadier. So if you're a gamer, you want to experience some really great gaming. And I bet you there's going to be some Hollywood types in there, producers and writers, because there are Hollywood types hanging out at some of the other stores, like Paper Heroes. I've seen some guys go in there. And I bet even Emerald Knights. Boy, these guys are going to get all kinds of business. But they deserve it. I love these stores. I love these stores. In San Diego, it was Game Empire. And there was another store in San Diego Old Town called Game Town. Closed now. Game Empire is where the hardcore gamers go now for tabletop. That kind of stuff segues naturally into screenwriting. And it's a great way to set up scenarios.